Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream today. I'm currently here. Khalida, thank you for the 80th month. It is, in fact, finale day. It is also the final day of live feeds, as well as the final live feed update day. Lots of finals. Lots of final things. See if I can. That's not right. Why is that not connected? There it is. So obviously, normally in an end game, I don't know if we've done. I don't remember if we've done this before, but um, the final update obviously is often not covering the actual final bits of the season because the feed's shut down later than the update. So it's like, oh well, there's stuff we're missing theoretically. Thing is, previous seasons not really missing much. This season, we might be missing much. You know what I mean? There's still stuff to potentially see. So if I give you a final live feed update and you go and watch the finale, there might be an update from past the live feed update that you won't know about. So it only made sense to do the live feed update as once the feeds shut down. And maybe that's something we do in the future as well. Maybe that's more fun. Maybe it's annoying. You know, I like to stay consistent, but I think it made sense in this particular scenario. However, you know, I'm up. So I was like, oh, I guess I'll just go live anyway. I was gonna do a stream for the end of the feed. So basically the plan is marathon stream from now until when the feeds end. Once the feeds end, we'll do the live feed. I'll do the live feed update. And then we'll have the finale stream eventually. That's the plan. So for the record, there's not a lot happening right now. The feeds are down. They've been sleeping. I've still got some prep work to do. So you can join me on the prep work. I watched pretty much everything last night, but I was not taking notes. So I'm gonna go back through it and take some notes. And that's mostly it. If you're on the Patreon, I guess for better or worse, you'll see more of what I'm doing, but see and hear more of what I'm doing. But yeah, bring chat to work day. Exactly. I did see the jury interview. Ordered the book today. Nice. Patreon link should be in the chat somewhere. The basic news is that Morgan has leaned even more heavily toward taking Ashley to the final two. That's the primary thing. There is a lot of final speech prep, but I've already gotten into most of it. Kira, thank you for the subscription there. Welcome to the Robot Army. There's a lot of final speech prepping that's happening. I'm not gonna like go over their final speeches necessarily. I don't usually do that. I've already given like the gist of them. The main thing to know about the speeches is that they're both too long. Primarily, Ashley's is too long. Hold on. Mario with 5 gifted subs. Hold on.
Wow, a 5!
Thank you. It looks like there's like a promo going on too. Valorant added a gift sub. Oh, 2 gifted subs to that 5. I wonder if Morgan plays Valorant. I feel like this happens every season, that the players dramatically overestimate the amount of time that they... Whoa, boy. Warwick with 20 gifted subs. I don't have a good... We can do 2 10s. 10! Thank you for the 20 gifted subs, and Valorant added a bunch to that too. What a promo. Thank you so much, Warwick. Somebody asked, what tier of the Patreon do you need to be to watch the live stream? It's the 2nd tier or above. Just anything above the basic tier, basically. I will be live streaming Survivor for sure. Amazing Race, maybe videos, maybe live streams. Haven't fully figured it out yet. Super, thank you for the 5. Pre-ordered the book, thank you. And Reiki with 10. Thank you for making me laugh with the Vince impressions. Thank you so much. Halbert, welcome to the Robot Army. Do I get more on Patreon than Twitch? Yeah. Twitch has improved their cut to creators, or at least some of them. I'm not sure if it's still dependent on like qualifying or whatever, but it's still not as good as Patreon. Oh boy, darling Jade with 5 gifted.
Wow, another 5!
Thank you so much. Would I ever stream on X? I don't really... Is there really like a point? Does anybody stream on X? Also, it's X. I called it X. BB27 haircut is fire. Thank you. I appreciate that. I just saw Silver Web Surfer pre-ordered the book. Season has been so much fun. Vince impressions, I love it. Generic. Thank you so much. JCC, thank you for the 31st. What's the lore behind the new haircut? I mean, I wanted to grow it out. If you were following in the off season prior to the season, you would have seen the attempt at growing it out, which was a bit messy at times. Got as far as I could manage and then had to clean it up for the season. I was honestly just bored. Of the shorter hair. Just don't flat iron. What show am I planning to react to on Patreon after the Genius? So we have all of the live shows running. So Survivor, The Amazing Race, Traders Canada soon, Traders Proper eventually. And then it's kind of open season. I'll definitely do more of the Genius. I want to do some more Australian Survivor, some of the past seasons that people love. People really want me to do Housewives. And yeah, I mean, certainly like one-off movies. Jet lag is a possibility for sure. And there were some other shows too out there. That are interesting. So check it out. I'll probably put out another poll too to see like what the top candidates are from in the Patreon. Are there any interviews tonight? I know Mike is doing some. I don't know if we are. Catherine, thank you for the $20. Happy finale day. Thanks again for all the work this season. Can't wait to read the book. I'm like, I've been in such a tunnel with the season. As it's like I'm thinking about it now, and it's always been like, okay, audiobook right after the season ends, and then so on and so forth, and then blah blah blah. And so now like today is the day, the season is ending, and I'm thinking about like being there, recording the audiobook, the book coming out, and I'm like having more space in my brain for like the excitement of everyone getting to read the book soon and recording the audiobook. And I'm super pumped about it. Nathan, thank you for the 5 daily updates. Best part of the day. Thank you. What's the lore with robot? People call me a robot. People called me a robot, so I took it and ran with it. How much sleep have I gotten this season? Not as much as I would like. I'll tell you that. I have not seen One Day After Another yet, no. AFP prediction, I think it's going to be Keanu. It'd be cool if it was Rachel. I did see The Long Walk, yeah. Who from this cast do I think would do a deep dive? Rachel, I think. Alex, thank you for the 5. Missed the BB updates. Vinny impressions. Looking forward to the book. I think Rachel will do one. Outside of that, I'm not sure. Ashley would be very fun for sure. Morgan has sort of like, and she might change her mind, but Morgan's talked on the feeds about sort of not wanting to relive the experience. And I very much would respect that. Mehek the First. Thank you for the 40 something. I don't know what that is actually. Gonna miss the updates. Am I a Vince fan? I said this on the update yesterday that like once the finish line was in sight, I was able to like enjoy Vince a little more. You know what I mean? In the same way that like I can enjoy a season with really like frustrating people from the past because there's distance. Like now that there's at least some anticipated distance, it's a little easier to enjoy what his quirks have brought to the season. Which is, I think that a lot of people don't really get that. Like if they only see clips of me or they only watch the updates, they don't watch the feeds or whatever. And they're like, man, you're always, you know, talking about this, or like you have such a big reaction to like the Rachel twist or whatever. And it's like, I don't think you realize how much, you know, I'm in it. It's every day for me and anyone else that watches the feeds every day. And I'm trying to recount the feeds every day. And so if you see me every day talking about a thing without the context of that thing happening, watching that thing happen every day, you might feel like, oh, why is he harping on this thing every day? Like, why is he harping on the Rachel twist every day? Well, it's because the people in the house were harping about the Rachel twist every single day for like 2 weeks. Why are you doing Vinny reenactments every day? Because he's doing those things every single day. There's an echo. Oh, hold on. Yeah, that's my bad. Is this better? um Do I only do one deep dive per season? No, I've always said if anybody wants to do a deep dive, I will do it with them. Franco, thank you for the 36th. I personally feel like the deep dives are a lot. They're very difficult to do. They take a lot of time. Um, and you know, especially at the end of a season when I'm trying to decompress. But but from my perspective at least, like it's the least I can do for the players. If they want to do one, to give them a space to talk about their game from start to finish from their perspective, chatting it through, um, talking it over with somebody who watched them all the way through. Um, Hopefully allowing them to feel heard because I know that's a difficult thing for the players when they get out is that like there's all kinds of different responses and there are a lot of people who did not see everything or who only have a certain perspective of them through the show's narrative, the narrative of the fans in general, whatever the case is. And so um, I'm always open. Um, and everyone that has done a deep dive with me, I think has hopefully enjoyed the experience and appreciated the conversation. Some of them have really appreciated it, like that. Those genuine. I talk about this in my book that like some of the most gratifying moments of this entire job have been doing deep dives with people um who are maybe a little bit scared to, who are maybe a little bit like worried about it, who are maybe like getting a certain thing from the fan base as a whole, but decided to talk to me and who felt really seen um by the conversation, the ability uh to talk everything through in detail and um and just like thanked me for doing it. Like that's very cool. Um it makes me feel like there's something I can give back at all, you know? Like I really I owe so much to the players. The good ones, the bad ones, like um they go out there, they put themselves out there and they deserve so much credit. And I really only want the best for them. Um so many questions, so many good questions. Is there any game show I'd actually want to play? I mentioned this on the Patreon actually. The game I would want to play the most easily is The Devil's Plan. Deep dive into Nicole F really changed your perspective on her. Yeah, I loved that one. I really loved Nicole's. I've done two. I did two deep dives with Nicole. And both times I thought they were really great. Um, she was just very good. When you present it this way, I kind of hope Morgan does want to get help. I mean, listen, um, obviously there's a lot Morgan is going to learn when she gets out of the house. I would like to think that I am a good vehicle to present some of that information as opposed to some of the ways that it might be presented on other spaces, uh but she doesn't know that, like and there's no, and I could be wrong as well. Like it's totally up to her however she wants to deal with it. Um and maybe she comes out and she realizes it doesn't hurt as much as she thought because it was a game. And maybe it's tough to see all the things that Vince was doing. Um Especially because like I think an important thing to remember, yeah, feeds are back, but nothing happening at the moment. Um is that like these people are like so connected to each other. They are the only people that really fully understand what they've gone through. And so, when players come out, a lot of the time, the fans want them to be at each other's throats because of the things that happened in there. Um, and, I understand why, for the most part, especially depending on the severity of certain offenses. Um, but that's a difficult thing for the players to have to reconcile with because they come out and nobody understands what they've gone through. They have a million people with a million opinions on them. Their family doesn't get it. Their friends don't get it. Um, and the only people that do are the people they went through that experience with. And all of these people are saying, you can't trust this person. They don't like you. They did this thing that they did to you. Um, and it can feel, I think, like they're trying to tear away the only support you actually have. Um, Regardless of the actual intentions. But yeah, I think Ashley will be down for it, especially like Ashley just really takes things in stride. Like Ashley's just been chilling all season long. I have to imagine she'd want to talk about stuff, but again, it's always up to them. Do casuals ever watch deep dives? Yeah, sometimes. Usually like casuals that are um either just getting into the show or trying to study up about the show. All right, so they're up right now. I need to make sure I do some of this prep. Uh, Tim, Tim Taylor, thank you for the $5. What Big Brother twist would I welcome back into the Big Brother house? You would love to see pears again? I do not like pears. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of pears. Um, Kitomi, thank you for the 61st. Missed the 5-year mark, but what could be better now than where to go? I lost. There it is. The most clutch come from behind win in maybe all of Big Brother. I don't know if it would be in all of Big Brother, but it would definitely be up there. All right. So last night, do I like the new Law Dispute album? Yeah. I haven't been able to like listen to it properly. Um, but I do like it a lot. Feels like they're back on form. Hell, how come I didn't do final 3 game summaries this year? We kind of stopped doing those in general. Uh for a couple of reasons. One is that they're like just an absolute ridiculous amount of work. Um, there's no way I could have done them this season with all of what was still happening on the feeds. Like, usually I do them because there's nothing happening on the feeds in the final week, and there's plenty of time to do that. Couldn't have worked this season anyway. Um, but then also like, um, I think I found that like there's a lot that are there's a lot that's very like similar to what's in a deep dive. So it can feel a little repetitive. Like the deep dives essentially can function in those. And at the end of the day, they weren't super popular. um, they usually, at best, got the like viewership and or listenership of like a normal update, and at worst, less than a normal update. Which you know is unfortunate, but also like for the amount of work that went into them, like just, it's kind of not really worth it, especially when I can just do a deep dive and it's almost the same stuff. Um, but it was like bring me back to college and I'm cramming for a project that's due level of work. It was like multiple days straight of only doing that, like frantically like running through every single day, picking out the pieces. Like it was multiple days of 24/7 prep work for those, and it was always so stressful. And I'm doing this for like two people that aren't going to win most of the time, all of the time. But also like, you know, this is part of it too. Like I was often doing them for players that people had no interest in hearing about their games at all. And unlike doing a deep dive with those players where I'm sort of I'm doing it for them, like, like it's for their benefit too. It's like this is for nobody's benefit. Like I'm not even getting their perspective on this. Not nobody's benefit, but what are my thoughts on Peridium ranking Dan and Will's winning games 4th and 9th respectively? Uh, 4th. So Dan 4th, Will 9th. Will 9th? Ranking the winning games or as winners? I feel like as winners, it's hard to put Will at 9th. Only winning games. Okay. I'm trying to think of 8 better winning games than Will. Obviously, Dan, Derek, June, Maggie, Andy. I could probably get to 9 somewhere. I gotta find a few more, but Chelsea. Yeah, I could probably get to 9. Um, Dan number 4, 3 better winning games than Dan's. I mean, I would that at that point, I think we're coming to like, what's the criteria? He was ranking purely on how in control of the games they were. He was not going for fun factor at all. Yeah, I mean, if you're not going for fun factor at all, that takes some away. Still, though, I think it's. I mean, if you're ranking on control, then Derek has to be number one. If it's purely control, nobody has controlled a game from front to back more than Derek. If you're going with like impressiveness, gameplay, dealing with a variety of situations, dealing with adversity, adaptiveness, that's where players like Dan or Andy, or June, get more flowers. He had Andy number one for control, or was that not the criteria? Was that somebody else's criteria? I mean, Andy had. Yeah, I wouldn't say Andy's like, if there were like different scales or different like ratings for like, if it was like a video game and you had different points into different attributes, I would not say control is like the top thing for Andy. He was a very adaptable player. But I don't think control is like the end all be all of a player, or a win, personally. Top five was 1 Andy, 2 Derek, 3 Cody, 4 Dan, 5 Chelsea. Wow, that's interesting. I'm trying to figure out what the criteria is for that to get that exact order. I do need to get prep. You distracted me. I'm interested now. Like overall game strength. Yeah, but at the end of the day, when people talk about what's best, it's all down to what does best mean to them, right? Um, because there's like, who is the better player, as in, if we threw them into 1,000 games, who would win the most? And that at least has an objective end goal, even if the way to get there is going to be subjective inevitably. Whereas saying who's the best, who was the best winner, who had the best winning game, ultimately that's meaningless. You know, ultimately that is just an opinion. Because what does best mean? Best gameplay. Okay, what is the best gameplay? Is best gameplay the gameplay that gets you to a win the most often? Or is best gameplay the most impressive gameplay? And if it's the most impressive gameplay, what is impressive to you versus somebody else? How much can you try to factor in level of difficulty? How lucky someone was versus how not lucky someone was. Are you talking about how much they mitigated luck or how much they, there's so much. So when you look at a list like that, I like to think about like, what is the set of criteria that lands somebody in a specific order, you know? Because any order is theoretically justifiable. He changed his mind many times. That tracks. I have wanted to do another winner ranking podcast at some point, with my own criteria, which would be like, who is the best Big Brother winner for the old school game? Meaning competition prowess is diminished as an important factor. It's still worthwhile. It's still good to have, but you can't win solely through competition prowess like you can in modern seasons. And so I think that's a much more interesting version of analyzing winners, because if you did a who's the best winner under the current meta, it's literally just who can win the most comps. It's literally just Cody. You put Cody on the modern era, in the modern era, he wins more than anyone. Because he's very good at competitions, and he's also very good at the social strategic portion of the game. He's the best. Granted, okay, you know what? Chelsea did very well as well in competitions. But Mackenzie won a lot of. Cody being able to win a lot of them himself. Chelsea can also win a bunch herself. I think Chelsea's up there too. But it's just not that fun. You know what I mean? It's just like, well, who's the better competitor, Cody or Chelsea? As opposed to, okay, take competitions out of the equation. Who's the better strategist, manipulator, social player, Cody or Chelsea? Now that's a fun conversation, I think. CC, thank you for the 25th. Where's the line for modern era versus old school era? Well, there are different portions of it. I think the best version of the game in terms of competitions were the Shapiro era. Then you had sort of the transition period into the Grodner era, which has been the rest of this show, which was like seasons 8 through, let's say, 14 was like this transition period. And then starting from 15 on, it's like full force Grodner era. And then starting in about season 20, we really entered the competition era. And competitions were always increasing in importance and winnability over time. But by the time we hit Big Brother 20 into now, we're like in peak competition era. Anyway, let's see here. I am going to do some prep. It is going to happen. So this is, if you're on the Patreon, this is last night. Strategic and honest. Silver, thank you for the $5. What would be my jury question for each of the final three? I love a good jury question that's like tricky to answer, like who on the jury deserves it least, or why does your opponent not deserve it, or um, you know, there's just something tricky for them to have to navigate. Is always kind of fun. It's hard to really give anything here because, like, in Big Brother, you don't actually have a proper jury questioning portion. So I'm watching them from last night. Of course, Vince doing a lot of helping with Morgan. Morgan's speech. Talks a lot about loyalty and honesty, which is funny because she does plan to cut Vince. I mean, Morgan's speech, I would say, is not great. If the speeches mattered more, I would be worried for her if she cuts Vince and takes Ashley. The amount of times I've heard Morgan say, "Don't know." You don't know, Vince. I don't know, Vince. Vince, I don't know. You don't know. She has like a way of saying it too. You know, $75,000 is more than I've ever made in my life. I don't know, Vince. I don't know. So right now I'm at 849-ish last night, where they are mostly just rehashing the same conversation. All Vince has over and over is the same argument of like, I do know. I know I don't have the votes. I know. And it's the same argument. You think I have Ava? You think I have Rachel? Like, he hasn't even tried to change his tactic. Morgan also currently practicing her speech, I think, over here. Oop, okay. Sorry, I'm really like it's. Some of you got excited when I said I was going to prep on stream. I don't think it's very exciting to watch. It's just a lot of me writing things down silently. I need to know exactly what he said there. Close your eyes, Morgan. Man, the amount that he did not leave her alone. It's just like, why does he think that going over the votes over and over and over is going to work? He's done it so many times. It's just like, can we please just go over votes? You really think Ashley's going to vote for, you really think Ava's going to vote for me? You really think Kelly's going to vote for me? It's like, you've had this conversation so many times. And he keeps accusing her of lying to him. He keeps saying, I know you don't believe this. I know you don't believe that I can beat you. And he's wrong. She does believe that. So every time he says that, it completely shuts her down. That one was wild work. Does Kelly vote for me ever? Who knows? She's crazy. Colin, thank you for the $5. Stupid question, but how do you record the live feeds? Not a stupid question. You know, I don't know if I can answer it. I mean, it's not complicated. Okay, this is when she goes and talks to Ashley, which was really fun. I love the. Obviously, I love Vinny more than anything. Well, not more than anything. Feeds are on pets at the moment. Cupcake, sorry. Well, thank you for the $5. What do I think of Twitter thinking that Morgan's game is like Vanessa's? I think Vanessa's game is a lot better than Morgan's. I don't think that's it. I think that they would. There's usually like more of a fanfare. I don't think they would just go to pets. Morgan versus Vanessa, I think they played very different games. I think they have a similar sort of frenetic energy, and they're both like hardcore gamers. But the way they approach the game is very different. Peter, thank you for the $5. Similar question: Ashley versus Steve. I mean, I do think that there's some similarity there in the sense that Steve knew his limitations and always maximized his chance of winning with the tools that he had in the spots that he had. And I think that Ashley has done something similar, but again, they've played very different games. I'm rewatching so I can take notes. Feeds are still on pets at the moment. It could be it. They could just like basically if they change to a different screen from pets, we'll know they're over for good. Actually, you know what? It does make sense that they would have ended here. It's about noon Eastern. So it is possible they're just down for good, but I feel like normally it's later. And normally like they know the feeds are going down and it's like You know. Normally you know. It's not usually like a mystery. Frey, thank you for the $20 over on YouTube. I believe this is when Ashley says, yeah. Oh, they did say goodbye to the feeds? I wasn't even paying attention. Well, that might be it then. Yeah, it just feels weird to me. It feels like it's not really what I would say normally happens. Let me yeah, it could just be another wake up. I'll stay on here for a little bit. Keep doing some prep. Last night when I was watching this conversation between Morgan and Vince, I was thinking about the fact that their very first conversation on the feeds was like their very first like one-on-one was in this hammock in the same spot with the same blankets. And he like was like, I really want to work with you, Morgan. And she was telling him, don't listen to Jimmy. Put up Kelly. We got to get rid of Zay. He plays chess. And then the next morning, he told her he had a very vivid dream about her. On day 7. I literally, because I was thinking about doing some kind of like little video clip thing. I went back and looked at my stream, the 24-hour stream from the first night of feeds. And it's wild because I literally have a clip of Vince telling Morgan, I had a very vivid dream about you last night. And me watching that on stream going, Post the clip. By itself, it's not very interesting. I could show it here, but I don't have it up at the moment. Maybe later. Feeds are still down. There's a chance that this is it. If so, I think we will try to get the update started somewhat soon. It's usually so much more obvious. I can't think of a time I watched the feeds on the final day and I didn't know for sure that it was over. I'm just personally not convinced. Yeah, Hamster Watch seems to think it's it. Man, I don't know. Honestly, if not for Hamster Watch thinking this was it, I would say this is not it for sure. I would feel like they're definitely coming back. It's also just like so early in the morning. And there's no proper end screen. This was the final. So she did say the feeds are almost off. Morgan did. Like hearing this, I can see why people were saying this is it. Didn't watch from season 1. And that was it. Yeah, it might just be it. It still doesn't feel right. But the way Morgan was talking definitely seemed like she was saying they're almost like the feeds are almost going down, which would make sense given that it was nearly 9 a.m. So if they were told 9 a.m. is the time, then she would have known that. Who knows? Anticlimactic for sure. All right then. If that is the end, then what we will probably do I'll probably do the update in like 40 minutes. We'll do it at 10 a.m. my time, 1 p.m. Eastern. Just give me a little bit of time to make sure that the feeds are actually down and a little bit more prep work. Does football start? Football starts at 1 p.m. Eastern? Just me on the update, yeah. Oh, football's on now. Jeez. All football, all the time. Football started at 9:30 a.m. Okay, well, I was never not competing against football then. All right, I think what we'll do, I will go live earlier tonight. We'll do like a whole pregame for the finale. I was honestly expecting this stream to be a lot longer. And now I'm kind of like out of time to prep properly for the update, so I need to go and do that. So I'm gonna go do that now. I'll come back later tonight. We'll have like a final during the season stream prior to the finale. Maybe like an hour before the show starts, and then we'll watch the finale. We'll do the podcast, and that'll be it. That's the plan. Thank you for hanging out. I will, of course, be live on Patreon as well. If you want to watch over there. And I'll see you all in the update very soon. See ya.